All right, this video is going to be a reading of an essay that I wrote 3 years ago now about Andrew Tate and how to analyze complex events. Um, I don't claim to know what's true, and I don't claim to know what is good. All I do is try to dispassionately understand what is. If you've picked a side regarding Tate, something in this post will trigger you into cognitive dissonance. There is arguing to win, and there is arguing in good faith to see if your ideas stand up to scrutiny. This will be the latter. Again, I have no idea what the hell is true. I'm just going to explain how I look at this, not that you need to agree with me. We all have different education, experience, and values, so naturally, we're going to come to different conclusions. This will be an attempt to consider this situation from as many perspectives as possible. All right, buckle up. This is going to be fun. Human trafficking. There's been a lot of talk about human trafficking in the news over the last several years. It is a real problem. There are more people living in slavery conditions today than at any other point in human history. The world is full of vulnerable people without support systems. It's clear that they are all too often exploited. QAnon was a psyop meant to distract the right, but like all good psyops, it contained elements of truth. There's a reason QAnon took off, and it's not because all its adherents are stupid sheep. If you want to dive deeper, check out this channel on BitChute. In my view, the goal of Q was to mix truth with obvious bullshit so they could debunk the BS and paint the whole situation with that brush. It was very successful. Epstein's business was collecting blackmail on powerful people. He had this painting hanging in his house at the same time that he was friends with Billy. This is Bill wearing the infamous blue dress. Epstein had him by the short and curlies. All too often, once people have real power and can get almost anything they want, they begin to want things they cannot have. It's a common trope. There are myriad conspiracy theories regarding human trafficking, and it seems to come up in the news all too often. Here's another one which is worth looking into. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and the elites do not seem to care all that much about it. It was James Comey's daughter who prosecuted Maxwell, and she was able to successfully cover up the list as a result. How do you find someone guilty of trafficking with no evidence of whom they were trafficking to? Incredibly suspect. My analysis of Tate. I firmly believe in due process, innocent until proven guilty, and all that. The point here is not to say what he did or didn't do. That's for the courts, including the court of public opinion. I agree with maybe 80 or 90% of what the guy says. He's brilliant, charming, articulate, shrewd, even charismatic. The message he has for young men is overwhelmingly positive. By the time he came on the scene, I learned most of this from life experience, but I would have killed to have access to someone like that in my 20s. His message to young men is desperately needed. So many talented young men feel like there doesn't seem to be any point in trying. They have the deck stacked against them in every conceivable way. They want you weak, fat, low T, compliant, essentially incapable of revolution. I also think he uses scummy, scammy tactics to manipulate the fears and insecurities of his audience to get them to send him money. Here's what my thoughts were on him prior to all these allegations surfacing. This is the same shit as Andrew Tate et al. Find insecure dudes to send you money for not financial advice so you can be alpha and bang on all the hotties. Scam as old as time. Tate is right about a lot. I agree with him on 90% of what he says. He's still a scumbag though. A scumbag with talent whom I respect and even study, but a scumbag. Just because I agree with someone and they seem to be, quote, on my team, end quote, that doesn't mean they're decent human beings. People are complicated and they rarely tell you the whole story. Tate doesn't pass the smell test for me. I think the chances he was involved in shady, illegal businesses is 100%. As a side note, always trust your intuition. It will be wrong sometimes, but it's the best bet you can make. The animal instincts can save your life. When something seems too good to be true, it is. And Tate seemed too good to be true in many ways. Also, his rise from relative obscurity seems manufactured, much in the same way Epstein did. Aspie note: I found out about Epstein when I was living in the Virgin Islands for a couple months. Lots of rumors about what was going on that island. It was an open secret. Yet he operated with impunity for years, despite many things about him not adding up. Why did Les Wexner gift him the most expensive house in Manhattan? How did he go from teacher to international financial guru? Back to Tate. Many things about him don't add up. People who are confident and secure don't need to flex the way he does. Having nice things is great. Needing 30 supercars is pathological. Not only, it's financially very, very dumb, which wouldn't bother me, except he's trying to market himself as a financial wizard. It's a dirty secret that all great fortunes are created through illicit means. The Kennedys made their money in rum running, as just one example. If you look, you'll find many more. Once you have money, you can buy almost anything, including legitimacy. People who understand personal finance don't make those kinds of decisions. People obsessed with their own egos do. And it's not intelligent behavior to model for his impressionable audience. I'm not exactly sure where the line is when you're mega rich. It could be 3 or 5 or 10 supercars. But at some point, it becomes pathological. 30 cars is pathological flexing. It seems to me the dude has a god complex. It's easy to let your ego get out of control when you have the world by the balls, which he does. Conor McGregor comes to mind. Both legitimately charismatic, talented, strategic, etc. I have deep respect for how they both did what they did. It's impressive. Personally, I don't have much respect for what it turned them into. Self-obsessed, arrogant, god complex. I have no idea if Tate is guilty or not. I know it looks bad, and he's made a lot of statements regarding this that are highly suspect. But if he was running girls on OnlyFans, he was also pimping them out. Not a doubt in my mind. So does he have any blackmail? He seems like he would be smarter than to paint a target on his back without a plan. But again, maybe it's the God complex. It's really hard to say. I'm not taking things at face value though. There are videos you can easily find on the internet where he's saying things that are very, very incriminating. Many admissions, in his own words, do not look good. But videos are often misleading, and this alone isn't proof of anything because at the moment, the evidence we have is all circumstantial. He did, however, stupidly, paint a target on his back. He should have known better, unless this is 8D chess, which I doubt. The Matrix sent their agents. It's clear to me that the elite do not give one single solitary fuck about human trafficking. Andrew's messages are dangerous to the elite. He was arrested mere days after attempting to slaughter the sacred cow of climate justice. Regardless of his guilt or innocence, this is obviously revenge on the part of the Matrix. There is no doubt in my mind that the powers that be have been waiting for a chance to take him out. Whether or not this is created out of whole cloth or 100% true, the main reason for it is to shut him up. Even if the allegations are true, it's not nearly as bad as Epstein. Not even close. And the same people who covered up for Epstein are now attacking Andrew with all their power. The same people responsible for the largest and most unethical medical experiments in human history are the same ones who were tied up with Epstein, are the same ones pushing the anti-human, Malthusian, climate justice agenda. The same ones who want you to eat bugs and live in the pod. They have also tried everything to shut Tate up. Conclusion. Andrew had a lot of great messages for young men. He also said a lot of things that are suspect. The kind of big boy money he was dealing with is unlikely to be generated from a combination of OnlyFans and Hustlers University. It's very likely he was involved in some shady shit. It's also clear to me that regardless of what he's into, that's not why they're going after him. Based on your values, it's not unreasonable to come to one of the following conclusions. Even if he raped the Pope, I wouldn't care. His message is too valuable. 2. Tate is guilty and he should rot in jail. 3. The Matrix sent their agents. It's 100% a frame up. 4. He's part of the Matrix and it's an elaborate hoax. Kayfabe in the vernacular. He's innocent and playing 8D chess. I'm not going to tell you which one to pick because I'm not even sure which one I pick. I'm waiting to see how it shakes out. One thing I am certain of, however, is that there are going to be more plot twists no one predicted before it's all over. And the propaganda is flying from both sides. Just know that whichever side you're on, this is complicated and reasonable people will differ. My recommendation is to remain open-minded and willing to update your analysis based on new information and what your gut is telling you. I just want to say that this holds up incredibly well given that it was written 3 years ago. I pretty much still agree with this, and at this point, I'm going to pick this one right here. He's part of the Matrix, and it's an elaborate hoax. Kayfabe in the vernacular. Let me know what you think down in the comments or on X.